JD here, and as some of you may have known, a little while ago my Spark got bricked. So what happened? Well, essentially I was upgrading the firmware, same as I would for any of my other drones, any of my other computers, my servers, anything at all. It's just a routine task. I upgraded and then the drone did not fly at all. So it wouldn't calibrate. Every time I turned on the drone and went directly into the app, it kept on saying altitude hold mode, GPS mode, altitude hold mode, GPS mode, no GPS satellites, and quite literally just kept on talking at me all the time. The LEDs on the front of the quadcopter just kept on flashing yellow all the time, just nothing. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through, in case anybody else is having this issue, go back through, have a little look, see what I did, and then see if that helps you out as well. Alright, so let's just jump straight into it. So now for the second, what I did is I connected my Spark, I opened up the DJI Assistant app, which is exactly what you can see here. The firmware list shows that the firmware is totally up to date, the Spark is up to date. Now, what I didn't want to roll it back and then reinstall it, but what I did want to do is just refresh after checking that there isn't any new firmware updates to be installed, because I didn't want to install over a bad update. So with this, let's just refresh, and that then should allow us to refresh the current version of the firmware which is actually installed, and therefore hopefully any bugs will get squashed, ironed out, and everything else should just work. Fingers crossed. Now with this, once the download is completed, it automatically just goes into uploading the firmware which is exactly what it's doing here. Now my biggest issue with this is obviously when it comes to firmware, once something is bricked, there isn't pretty much anything that you can do. I had got in touch with DJI, I had a response back. The response was good. They basically just said, have you tried reinstalling the update again? Which is exactly what I'm doing. But I think there's always that time where you think to yourself, oh dear, I don't want this to be bricked, because this is my camera in the sky. This is my camera that I film other drones with, I film cars with, I have a load of stuff I want to do with it, and I couldn't do anything with it, and it's pretty much been out of action for about 3 months. So once the transmission is all completed, then we're going to move on. So what I'm going to do, so the transmission does take a while. I think it took best part of about 20 minutes, I think, to complete. And then once the update is complete, there's only one more thing to do. Let's take her out and let's get it tested. What I'm going to do today, we're going to take her up.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
There we are. Let's take her up a little bit. Now this is perfect, because now she's flying. Now she's absolutely, do you know what, this is good. This is great. Just the fact that she's flying again is perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's turn on the transmitter. Okay, so she's got basic movement, yaw, roll, and then stabilization, forward, back, brake, back, mind my head, forward, brake. Yeah, that seems good. That seems good. I've been a little bit concerned of me trying this again and getting issues in flying, and obviously with something like the Spark, I don't want to have any issues in flying, just because I want it to be as seamless as possible. Let's try a little bit of video recording. So let's try just a little bit of yaw action. I just want to try and see whether everything's fine after the firmware upgrade. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Seems to be okay. We're at 15 minutes battery life, 90%, full signal, 17 satellites. Let's do a little bit of a flight out then. Not much, because I don't want to lose signal. But let's just take her around me a little bit and see how she goes. That seems to be good. That seems to be very good. Let's try this gimbal. Gimbal movement as well. Perfect. Please excuse my attire. I'm not normally this smartly dressed. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. That's good. I'm happy with that. Right, great stuff. There we are. I mean, I've upgraded loads and loads and loads of DJI kit in the past. I've upgraded Mavic Airs, I've upgraded Phantoms, I've upgraded my Spark, I've upgraded so much kit in the past that when I had a bad firmware upgrade like this, or when it didn't work 100% according to plan, I was gutted, absolutely gutted. I honestly thought, there we are, perfect. I honestly thought that it was, you know, that because I took my time, same as with everything that I do with this, I thought that there was going to be no issue with it whatsoever, but at the same time there was a bit of an issue. But at least by going through the process that you just saw before this video, if you haven't seen it, and if I have put this out differently, I don't know how this is going to look yet, then I'll link to it in the description. Then yeah, it's working perfectly now. I have my little Spark back, so I've got my eye in the sky, my little camera's back. Perfect. Let's crack on and get more footage. Alright then folks, thanks for watching. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.